A live look from our rooftop camera in Glover Park. The stifling heat is here, and now some storms could be on the way. You're watching DC News Now at 4, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Ariel Carbone in for Annalisa Gale. It is a DMV first warn day. First the heat, and then the chance of storms. We have live team coverage today. DC News Now's Randy Bass standing by at the Georgetown waterfront, where people are understandably trying to stay cool.
But first, let's check in with meteorologist Damon Matson. Not a great start to the weekend weather-wise, Damon.
Yeah, can we rewind? Can we go back to what we had early this week? That was nice. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has certainly dialed up the heat and humidity, and at the same time brought in a cold front that is still working its way toward the DMV, bringing some storms with it. Here we go. Again, we have a level 2 risk for severe storms. This was expanded earlier this afternoon. All of our northern counties, north of I-70 in particular, are under this level 2 risk, including places like Cumberland, Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Frederick, DC, and then off to the south, we still have a bit of a risk for severe storms here. Level 1 risk is still in place, so everybody is fair game, and we have to pay attention for those storms to potentially develop at least through the rest of this evening and the first half of the night until that cold front is gone. And here we go, folks. Thus far, we have not noticed a whole lot. A few showers down across northern Virginia and Fauquier and Culpeper counties that are still lingering a bit. We are noticing a little bit of extra development to the south and east. We have one cell in particular that is right along the Beltway, not producing any lightning and thunder at this point, just some rainfall through Forestville down toward Camp Springs, some heavier rainfall, again, just off of the Beltway in Prince George's County. So we'll keep an eye on this cell. It's not severe by any means as of this moment, but goes to show that we could see something bubbling up here throughout the afternoon. And we've been watching this thunderstorm rather closely. This is just across the Potomac River, south of Cumberland here, across parts of western Maryland into West Virginia. Some very heavy rainfall, a little bit of lightning there. We'll keep an eye as this cluster of storms starts to drop more to the south and east. We could be seeing a couple of severe storms out that direction. And folks, here it is. We have plenty of energy for those storms built up. Temperatures to the south and east still in the upper 80s to lower 90s. And that's the heat that we have been contending with as well as we've gone throughout much of the day today. So one, could we catch a break from these hot temperatures into the weekend? And two, what is the latest with that severe threat as we go over the next several hours? We'll talk about all that and more in your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Damon. And with that warm up in temperatures comes that long-awaited weekend.
Yeah, DC News Now's Randy Bass is at the waterfront in Georgetown with a look at current conditions, and she joins us there now. Randy, it is a warm start to the weekend.
Yeah, a warm and certainly sprinkly start to the weekend here in Georgetown. It really feels like summer on this DMV First Warn Day. You've got sunshine and clouds during the day, and now a rainy and possibly even stormy evening. Some people still braving what could be a rainy evening out here tonight. People hanging out along the waterfront, people watching, taking in the views, even paddleboarding and kayaking along the Potomac River as it has started to sprinkle here over the last several hours. One thing to look forward to after the rain passes: free fun and a chance to cool off for the whole family. DC Parks and Rec spray parks and fountains are officially opening this weekend and staying open through next week. That's when things are really expected to heat up. Those DPR parks will stay open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Some others, like the one here in Georgetown, will stay open into the later evening hours. People we talked to today are already gearing up for the big warm-up next week.
Being in a place like this, being near the water, going to the parks, getting some refresh air, and being outdoors as much as we can. Take advantage of the heat, nice weather. At the way it is today, it's not bad. Anything over 95, 98, yeah, that would be too much.
If you don't want the weather to rain on your parade on this DMV First Warn Day, it's a really good idea to stay weather aware. Make sure you've got your DC News Now weather app on hand and sign up to get all of the latest alerts where you live. In Georgetown, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. And with temps expected to hit or feel like 95 degrees or even higher, DC has activated a heat emergency, and cooling centers and shelters across the district are now open. And starting Monday, spray parks will operate daily. People should stay hydrated and drink plenty of fluids and avoid the outdoors when possible. And if you do go outside, wear light fitted clothing.
People are first protect yourself, right? The second thing is get out there and check on your neighbors, seniors, children, and pets. We're going to have an extended heat emergency, and we're really just trying to get the message out.
And you can also call 311 if you need a ride to a cooling center or a cooling shelter.
And here is a look at an interactive online map. It's showing you where all of those cooling centers are. Now, they are open to anyone needing a break from the sun, and you can find a link on our website. That's dcnewsnow.com. Just search heat resources in the top right corner. And as temperatures rise, you may be wondering how this heat can impact your children. Ahead at 4:30, we'll tell you the warning signs of heat stroke and how to keep your kids safe. And breaking news, just in, the search for a new Montgomery County public school superintendent is over. The school board will announce their pick on Monday. The new superintendent was chosen from a national pool and with a lot of community input. Stay with DC News Now for more updates on that search.
New details about a triple shooting at a car meet in Accokeek, Maryland. Two men have died, and they've been identified as Prince George's County police say that 48-year-old Sheldon Proctor and 55-year-old Patrick Savoy were shot and killed at a shopping center on Berry Drive. A third shooting victim took himself to the hospital. This all unfolded just before midnight. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay spoke to a victim's sister who says the violence has to stop.
A chair and flowers sits where the victims were shot and killed in this tragic incident in this shopping center here in Accokeek. Now, loved ones say it all happened during a car show where hundreds of people were attending, and now many of them are just heartbroken.
I was at home when I got the news, and I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it.
Tamala Swan is devastated. She says her brother, 48-year-old Sheldon Proctor, was handicapped but loved coming to the car shows in his red scooter at the Mantekeek Village Center on Thursdays.
He was out here doing what he loved. We come from a racing family and a car show family.
According to police, around 11:45 Thursday night, they responded to Berry Road at this shopping center for a shooting. A man was injured and is expected to survive, but two men were shot and died at the scene. Family members spent the morning trying to process what happened.
He just always smiled and he loved people. He was my baby brother, and he meant the world to me.
Police say they have no suspects or a motive at this time, and Swan is pleading with the public for answers.
Everyone that was around that saw something, please say something. This crazy killing has got to stop. Innocent people are being killed for no reason.
Now, if you have any information, you are encouraged to contact Prince George's County Police. For now, reporting in Accokeek, Maryland, I'm Jean-Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
All right, thanks to Jean-Marie. This just in, a man accused of hitting an armed robbery suspect with his car and killing him. The investigation unfolding right now in Upper Marlboro. Police say that they responded to a gas station on Crane Highway just before 1 this morning. Once there, a man told police that he was the victim of an armed robbery outside of a home on Tiberius Drive. The man said that he had struck one of the suspects with his car before driving to the gas station and then calling for help. The suspect was pronounced dead at the scene. So far, no word on any charges being filed.
And new video of a dramatic takedown in Fairfax County. Two grand larceny suspects arrested, but not without a chase. Take a look.
I'll talk to you real quick. Yeah. Right now you're being detained. Got any weapons on you? Yes. What do you got? Oh boy.
And this all took place a week ago at Springfield Mall. Detectives spotted a car with a stolen license plate. Police were able to identify two 19-year-old suspects. They were taken into custody outside the mall. Now, inside the stolen car, officers found a stolen gun and drugs. Khalil Harshaw and Jordan Ewell are each facing numerous charges.
Happening right now, traffic in Arlington impacted after a water main burst. Officials are working to repair a section of Kirkwood Road off of 17th Street. And officials say the incident impacted about 50 customers in the area. This is the second water main break in Arlington in a week. The city said that they should be wrapping up repairs later this evening.
And developing in D.C. right now, city leadership calling on D.C. public schools to pause a construction project after families in Ward 7 say they were blindsided by district plans. Now, under the plan, DCPS will place trailers on the athletic fields at Nail Elementary School for the next 5 years. And those trailers will be used by students at rotating schools in Ward 7, where upgrades are taking place. That means students at Nail will lose access to their fields. Families are rallying against this plan and said they were only notified about it last week. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson is demanding DCPS work to rework that plan, ensuring Nail students still have access to outdoor space.
DC News Now is your local election headquarters. And just a reminder that early voting for Virginia primaries ends tomorrow, and you can cast your ballot at your local registrar's office by 5 p.m. Election day is Tuesday, and if you aren't registered, you can still use a provisional ballot. You can find candidate information and polling locations on our website. Just head over to dcnewsnow.com.
And check this out. Earlier today, DC Water dyed parts of a Rock Creek green. You can see it there. They say the dye will help them observe and study the outfalls of the East Rock Creek diversion sewer. Officials say the dye is non-toxic and biodegradable. They say the moving water will cause the dye to disperse throughout the day.